Welcome to the Wheatfield. This week's message is courtesy of my husband, something he said to me that really got my wheels spinning, and I'm going to share it with you. We've talked about this theme before. Waiting is hard. Waiting seasons on the way to abundance are some of the hardest ones. And it's just a common theme that keeps coming up. I'm an action person. I like to have a plan. I like to be doing something to reach a goal, to be moving things forward. I think it's just kind of in my nature. And honestly, I was a college basketball player. So a large part of my life was always working on something and working towards something. And if I had nothing to do, I was outside working on my basketball skills to get better. And work has created this big theme for me that you got to constantly be doing something, right? And the world tells us those things. That's easy messaging because most of the time it's true, but sometimes there are quiet, waiting, listening seasons. And I'm kind of in one of those right now as we contemplate some different things with our family, and I'm not okay with it. And a couple last week, my husband goes, "You got to be okay sitting in this season, just sitting in the season." Which this is the season of figuring it out and listening and not doing. So I think there's two types of seasons we can be in. One is the sitting season and waiting and listening. And one is the movement. God has told you to move, you better move. Moving in the sitting season to me is disobedience. And sitting when God's told you to move is also disobedience, a churchy word, but a real word of saying you're doing something that God has instructed you not to do. So I'm going to do a two-part thing. This week is to speak to those whose nature is like mine, to move, and create and get it done and figure it out. When God tells you need to sit and be quiet, you have to do that. And that's really hard. It's like sitting on my hands, oh my gosh, I need to be doing something right now. Instead, I'm really just supposed to sit in this season of waiting on God. So to anyone out there that is also in a sitting in the season, I have some encouragement. Psalm 27:14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord. James 5:7-8. Therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. I like this. The farmer waits for the precious produce of the soil, being patient about it until it gets the early and late rains. You too be patient. Strengthen your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is near. You too be patient, okay? And last, I bring this verse up all the time. And I actually today went back and read all of Psalm 46, which I'm really in a season. I've been watching The Chosen. I'm really late to the game on The Chosen. It is lighting me up inside. And it's gotten me where, man, I really want to learn scripture like I've never learned it before. Because we have all these one-off ones, right? We know some of these verses that we just spout out. But I went and read the whole chapter that this verse, "Be still and know that I am God," is in. It is fascinating. It's a really intense chapter of Psalm just about war. And in the middle of it, it's "Be still and know that I'm God." And I was like, man, there's something to be said. In the craziest of times, even God tells us to be still and know that He is God. Even in the busy, scary, crazy war times that were taking place in this particular chapter. Be still and know that He is God. I read this on Instagram this week from an account I follow. Last week I did. And it just sums it up. This could have been the whole message this week, but you ready? Waiting is hard, but doing the right thing in the wrong season is harder. So, if you need to hear this week to just keep sitting in your season, whatever it is you're in, if you don't have the green light to go ahead, keep sitting. Not every season is action-based. Use this time to really seek after God and ask Him what it is He needs you to do when it is time to move. All right, I'll be sitting in my season. Not sure what season you're in. We'll speak to those that need to listen and have the courage to move forward with something God's put in front of them next week. But have a great week. Don't miss the week, whether you're sitting or moving or who knows what you're doing. There's abundance all around.